There you are. Ready to go?
I just got here. Can we talk? Why did you leave me alone?
You are not alone. Can we go now?
No step from the shadows.
Messed this up, didn't I? How come it's not working?
Let's ask Seeker. This all has to end, and I'd rather it was sooner than later.
I am doing my best, my love.
There's a spectral web here, but it's new. It's stronger, but I think I can do it.
Oh, easy there.
This'll only take a moment. See?
Well, throwing my weapons through your will is a little unsettling. The spell isn't working. I think she's gone.
These stains block the way through, like a thick web.
A little spectral spring cleaning.
The best kind of cleaning.
Have I mentioned how I know I am of you?
Go on. Strange how I barely knew Ceridian, yet feel like I've lost someone deeply important.
Seeker!
Manual on how to hide from men.
Wish I had one.
How can she find anything in this mess?
Is that really what's important right now?
She draws well. Why is there a letter from Deborah Comenius here?
And who's Grace? No way back to New Eden Town, and no seeker either. Our only clue points to Kate Newsmith. Maybe she knows this Grace, and where to find her. Shall we dance then?
Aye. Always.
Not today.
If the spirit chases were working, we wouldn't have specters. I'd stay to figure it out, but we need to see Kate.
Who there, corrupted weeds?
quick and precise. Well done.
Basta.
This isn't over yet. Look to me.
Stay down.
Is it worse to lose your faith in your fathers than it is to lose faith in yourself? Those in the Harrows who lived would be wise to look inwards, to reflect, and then to pay penance. But none carry a greater burden than young Lamentation Haskell. How will he guide the faltering faithful when he has so little faith in himself?
I get the feeling folk are preparing to leave.
Red McWraith.
I didn't expect you back.
I'm working my way back to New Eden Town.
There, you're on your own.
Do you wish to talk about what happened with the beast?
You killed my sister. I have nothing more to say to you.
Thickskin did what she did, and you were as horrified as I was, and laid the blame where it belonged.
You executed her.
Yes, I did. I know it seemed cruel. I contend that it was necessary. Or seemed so at the time.
Sometimes, Banisher, I wonder if we did not exchange one monster for another.
The settlement seems to be doing well with you in charge.
We've made some gains, but we're far from ready to leave.
Did you tell them what Thickskin did?
I told them she died hunting the beast. Some are yet in their sullens, but they're better with sleep now the nightmares have stopped.
Perhaps them not knowing is for the best.
If we are to keep our chins up and leave for good, better they stay in the dark. Still, some troubles yet vex. The bodies of the lost are buried, many without names, but we found tracks. They lead away into the woods. Some may have escaped. I need to know for sure.
If they're alive, you mean?
Yes. And if they're dead, that they won't be coming back. We need no more beasts.
A new scourge is always possible, but very unlikely without the nightmare's influence.
Probably best to confirm, eh?
Thank you. I followed the tracks as far as I could from the killing ground. I left a red flag as a marker. From there, I ventured no further.
I'm trying to track someone down, and I was hoping you could help me.
I doubt I'll be much use, but I'll help you if I can.
So, I found your name in an old letter. It was addressed to someone by the name of Grace. It was written by Deborah Comenius.
You're tenacious. I'll give you that. But must you push so?
Deborah wrote of a cabin in the woods. Could this Grace person have found it?
I don't know. It was all a very long time ago. I had forgotten her.
Did Grace ask you for help?
No. Grace Pennington vanished. No one ever saw her again.
Grace Pennington? As in Captain Saul Pennington?
Pennington had a daughter, and you knew her.
I knew her, but not well. Deborah had her in the school and spoke of her from time to time. Shy as a porcupine and twice as prickly, as I recall.
Deborah wrote the letter in February 1688. When did Grace disappear?
Months later, Pennington accused Deborah of being a witch. In my recollection, that moment overshadows all others.
Could Grace have survived alone out here in the woods?
Possibly. But could she remain unseen? No. All thought she'd left New Eden. Gone west, perhaps into the wilds.
Does the name Seeker mean anything to you?
It sounds less a name than a calling, but neither mean anything to me. We done.
One more question. Did the school teacher keep a cabin in the woods?
Deborah spent much time walking the woods, trying to understand New Eden, she said. Now that you mention it, I remember a snowstorm. She spent 3 days in a hut not far from here. Southeast, across the drawbridge, along the path towards the mine. If it's still there.
Goodbye to you for now, Kate.
Oh, damn this to hell.
Just our luck that when we need Seeker the most, she disappears.
I still don't understand why the ritual failed.
Let's just find the hut.
There's more of them.
Symbols. The hut may be near. I sense magic. Could Seeker be here?
Change tack.
Faded with age. Ought to know what it was for.
Air is foul and foul is fair. There's a lot of fog down there.
Follow my lead.
Peter!
This can't be a coincidence. Could Grace be Seeker? Dusty. Seeker hasn't been here for a long time.
Anyone home? Fine wardrobe for a youngster.
They're rags.
And they won't help us find her. Aye. Quite the fall from grace.
That's not funny, and neither is this.
Aye, fair enough. Deborah knew about this place.
Focus on the matter at hand, Red.
I am.
More demonology. Unusual for a witch. These two schools of magic don't usually see eye to eye. Perhaps Lammy could help us with the spell. Seeker drew this. Now we know. She's in the mountains. There's a ritual of dissimulation, and we need the catalyst. Same circle as the one on the entrance. The circle powers the door, but I don't know the symbol. I don't know it, but I think Lammy might. We did well to come here. Now we know where she's hiding. Soon we'll be able to use the pond. All we need is the key to the dissimulation spell, and Lammy Haskell will help us with that.
Sure. Things look better here. Helen is working out.
Spectral traces. Something's up with Helen.
Banishers. Excuse the clatter.
I've seen worse. Good day to you, Helen.
I did not count on seeing you two again. I take it you've returned for a reason?
Running this fort on your own can be no easy task. How are things going?
Busy. I've been trying to establish a supply route with the Harrows. I believe some yet remain there. Perhaps they'll share their reserves. We could use the supplies. Strangely, my letters go unanswered.
We had a little disagreement with the governor. You may wait a little longer for your letter.
I see. New Eden is losing its selectmen. A terrible thing, of course. Still, new broom sweep cleaner and all that.
Things have been feverish round here, to say the least. Are you bearing up?
As well as can be expected.
How well is that exactly?
People are dying for no apparent reason, and this godforsaken fort dangles out over the edge of the world, cut off from everywhere. I fight so the stockade stays standing. The ship is wrecking, but I was called to be captain. I hold the wheel. So yes, Banisher, I am bearing up as well as can be expected.
A presence yet surrounds you. Could explain why you feel so burdened.
I carry my grief with me. I live with a family that is no longer here. You made sure of that?
Could his husk still be present? It will be drawn to you.
No, it could not.
Something is present. Something weighs on you.
I'm busy, Banishers. Busy means tired, that's all.
What can you tell me about a young woman by the name of Grace?
It seems you already know some of the story. It was a long time ago, but I'll do my best to fill in the gaps.
What happened to her?
As I heard it told, one day Grace just wasn't there anymore.
How was their relationship?
I believe it was stormy, as you'd expect between a commander and his disobedient daughter. I do think he loved her, but as far as anyone ever saw, he never shed a single tear for her.
Later, after he exiled her, did the captain try to find his daughter?
Not to my knowledge. He did not set off in search of her, nor did he send men. At the time, I thought it strange. Still do. I'll never understand how a man could reject his only daughter. And that, my inquisitive Banisher friends, is all I know about the matter.
We'll look into your spectral stones.
If you feel the need, then sure. Suit yourself.
Why is an echo here? If Sebastian still lingers, it can't be.
Grace was right in front of us all along. I barely recognize her.
Let's find her. Lammy should be able to help us with the ritual. A ghost damaged the sign. Ingersoll General Stores must live on. Someone's fighting for a cause.
Nathaniel Sather didn't seem the type. The store does, though. Shall we?
No governor, no meeting house. And it seems, no faith.
As a community and as individuals, we can do better. I can do better. Need to make amends and
Think about... Well, ho there! What a pleasant surprise! I was fair and sure that I'd never see you again.
Where are you off to?
Far away, God willing. Build bridges, say the wise, that people may better understand each other. Build a jetty, say I, so that a ship may come and we can leave. New Eden is a fascinating study for you and I. But for ordinary folk, it is, as I've heard it put, a shite hole.
Leaving sounds right to me, if these people learn from their mistakes.
They repent, Mistress Duarte. A new start elsewhere, away from the place in which they sinned, will do them good.
Spoken like a leader.
I fear, however, that not everyone shall listen. I fear what shall befall them if they stay behind.
We overheard you. What are you working on?
I, to my horror, am working on a speech. It's terrible. I don't even know where to start.
You've not asked for advice, but I'll give it anyway. You could start with forgiveness. Seems appropriate.
That might just work. Thank you!
Are things that bad?
Tell the truth, I don't rightly know. They don't trust me. They tell me nothing, and when they do, they're probably lying. And without the wards, well, I fear things will get worse before they get better. In fact, they already have. Spectres walk, and we are in need of a banisher, or two. If you can bring people peace, well, I doubt they'll be grateful. But perhaps they should have the strength to believe in a brighter future.
We found a page ripped from a book. Here, do you recognize it?
Let me see. Is this from the Trismegistus riddles? Yes, it seems to be. Why would you bring me one mildewed page from an amusing but harmless little book?
Why would you fail to disclose that you'd given another ritual to another friend?
It was a long time ago. I said after Caleb I'd distribute no more rituals, and that's what I've done. Not done.
We know. But we're looking for Grace Pennington now, and we were hoping you'd help us find her.
Who?
Really, boy?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mistress Antea. You said Grace's name, and it is my reflex to protect her.
When was the last time you saw Grace Pennington?
It had to be a few days after I brought her the cloaking ritual. When I returned to visit, the hut had disappeared. Which makes sense now that I think of it.
That's it? You never again tried to find your best friend, your only friend.
Well, you see, Some weeks later, the first whispers of witchcraft started to fly about town. I kept my head down, and Grace was better off out of it. I was right. And I'm glad she escaped. Strange to think of her again after so long.
Ever heard of someone named Seeker?
Seeker? No. Sounds like a title, like my True Pursuer. This Seeker... Is she Grace? Is she alive? Do you know where she is?
We think she's Grace. We hope she's still alive. We're trying to find her.
We think she's hidden herself away behind your dissimulation spell.
Then you'll need to unravel it. Shouldn't be too difficult once you're armed with the salient facts.
How does the ritual work?
It creates illusions so effective that they deceive even the keenest eye. There are more effective cloaking spells, but the Trismegistus riddles do have a simple elegance.
The short version, please, ending with how we break it.
Yes, of course. To achieve that, all you need is the caster's full name and the symbol used to make fast the illusion.
Grace Pennington and a triangle pointing downwards.
Well then, now all you need is a simple counterspell from the same book and... Oh my.
What now?
I'm afraid I left my copy in the Araloo. In the void.
That's just great. Just great.
Yes, but in my defence, once you've retrieved the book, dispelling Grace's illusion will be like a walk in the park. Comparatively speaking.
Thank you for your help.
Could you tell Grace that I'm still her friend? I'd be glad to see her again.
Once we found her, we'll be glad to tell her.
we must look up our...
More work to do.
A new building needs a solid foundation. I wonder if ghosts still linger.
Come on then. Talk to me. Don't hold back.
You act as though all is well, as though I had not died. I'm dead, and I'm not all right. I'm not all right at all, but you pretend not to see it. That makes me angry. And it makes me sad.
I never wanted that.
I know, but it still felt that way.
shite. Look, I couldn't talk about it.
Couldn't talk about what?
You accused me of pretending not to see that you're dead.
That's how I feel, Red. You have to accept it.
I couldn't face your death. I admit that. Your death left me desolate. I knew in my heart that it should have been me. Then you came back. I snatched at the chance to undo what'd been done. I don't wish to deny your pain. No. I'm just trying to deal with mine.
Wow. That's... I hadn't thought of it that way. Thank you for your honesty.
Reinforcements!
Eyes peeled.
Can I join in too?
Your funeral!
Our book isn't here.
Our book might be up there.
I might need some help.
I might be able to give it. We need to look for somewhere to cross.
This looks like Lami's stuff. Only more scattered.
Even with the void shifting, the book should be around here somewhere.
got it. That seemed a little too easy.
We have the symbol we need. Let's go back to the mountain and find her hiding place.
Did you hear that?
First things first, Red. Move it! Running away, are we? I have another in sight. Crows incoming. Run, Red! It's going all out. There's it. This isn't over yet.
Pretty wee shite, aren't you?
Watch out! Spectre possession.
This is it. Seeker is behind this wall. Let the veil of unknowing be lifted. Let us see through the eyes of Grace Pennington.
Ceridian?
You're surprisingly slow, even for a Banisher. You're late. Or early.
At last we find you.
Missed me that much, did you? You could have hurried. You always think you have more time, and suddenly you don't.
It wasn't in vain. We have come far and learned much.
I hope so. But don't think you have it all figured out. You're still Banishers, after all.
We are indeed, Grace.
So, you know.
When I asked if you'd known Deborah Comenius, you denied it. Why?
Seeker never met Deborah. Grace did. I am no longer Grace, and I don't like to speak for her. Deborah was Grace's teacher. She encouraged her to be herself, to become who I am now. They did not know one another, but without Deborah, I'd have never met Ceridian. And with Ceridian, my entire life changed. Deborah suffered terribly, and the fate she met was exactly the fate I fled. I accept it now. I accept it all. Ceridian has left a hollow, and I am called to fill it. I accept. I am ready for my role in this world. Are you ready for yours?
We looked for you everywhere. Why did you leave the Maya Marshes?
I needed time, silence, my own space.
Hidden away behind Lammy Haskell's dissimulation spell.
Ah, you know about that. It held a full 7 years. Isn't that impressive? This is the place where I embrace solitude. This is where I made it a strength.
Did Ceridian find you here?
Not physically. I dreamed of her. I dreamed of the Maya Marshes. So, I went there. And I found the island.
Quite the thing. Meet your dream in person.
I suppose so. At the time, I was more focused on the fun I'd had getting to the island.
Also,
Our first dance. I admit I ran away. But we have danced many times since then. Old Mosshead, Ceridian and me.
You learned magic by yourself?
Not really. Not at all. First, Lammy Haskell's forbidden books told me that magic was real. They say you must look out for the quiet kids. And that was me and Lammy. Reading those books opened my eyes to worlds of wonder. But I did not learn witchcraft until Ceridian found me. Lammy showed me the view from the prison window, but my mistress walked me right out the door.
Lammy was relieved to hear you're well.
he talked about paying you a visit.
When I was exiled, he was the only one who'd help. Sweet boy. But now is not the time for visitors. Later, perhaps. Later, when you have lifted the curse.
The boy will be disappointed. He has a thing for witchery. The time has come for us to go back to New Eden and face the nightmare.
Yes. Balance must be restored. You must face your fate and end the curse.
Ceridian said the only way back was through the void. But the pond seems broken. We need your help.
Of course you do.
We're listening.
Remember Ceridian's words. If you were to defeat the nightmare, your hearts must be open to each other. No barriers. Your bond must be strong.
We've never been stronger.
This void breach is not like the others. This one leaks. This one sits at the rotten core of the entire region. You must leave whatever still burns in your hearts at the threshold. If you don't, the void will kill you.
Do you know where in New Eden Town the void shall lead us?
The trick is to focus on your happiest memories and let them take you there. At least that's how it's always worked for me.
We'll try.
And when at last you succeed, I too shall return to New Eden Town. I shall see you there.
With that, we'll take our leave.
Bring peace to this troubled land and your troubled hearts, my friends. I know it's not easy to hear, especially when it's me saying it.
On the contrary.
Thank you, Seeker. We'll do our best.
What's that?
That is not your concern.
They've seen better days.
As have we all.
I like your new place a lot better than the old one.
I was a different person then.
This will be useful.
She's the custodian now. May she have all the wisdom of her mentor, and more.
I wish I had half the wisdom of mine.
You're not as stupid as you sound. You'll be fine.
Is it just me or?
I felt it too.
Into the breach we go.
In the fields outside Havana, the air is thick and hot this time of year. The downpour lasts for days. I used to lie on the grass, face to the sky, and let the rain wash over me. I'd come home soaked through, smelling of salt and dirt. It drove my mother insane. I never thought I'd hear myself say this. But I miss it. I miss home.
Tell me about your mother.
She was tall. Eyes like jeweled daggers, flashing sharp one moment, pure beauty and poise the next. She was about as predictable as the weather. It made me nervous. I doubt the years have softened her. In her defense, I was a decidedly insolent child. I should have written. I should have taken the time to visit. And I should have told you, as often as I felt it, how deeply in love I am with your tenacity. You seize the light and cling to it, no matter what.
I am stubborn when I want to be. I'm also charming as hell.
You have your moments, and we'll have many more.
You and me. Always.
Thank you for standing by my side through it all, for everything. Into the fray, then.
Always.